I went into that room, I felt defeated, which is very rare for me to feel defeated in something that I considered myself a semi-expertise in because I had been doing it already. And I left that interview, and it was a group interview. So, those sometimes you really have to fight your way to be a star.
Welcome to Her Side of the Story. This is the podcast where sister friends tell their side of the story about relationships, lifestyle, challenges, and triumphs. Here are your hosts, Raye and Ash.
Welcome to the very first episode of Her Side of the Story, where sister friends,
Raye
and Ash, tell their side of stories in friendships, relationships, lifestyle, challenges, and triumphs. Here we talk about it all. Before we dive into our 3-part friendship and sisterhood series, let's introduce ourselves. Raye, do you want to kick it off?
Yes. So I'm going to tell 3 unique things about myself. Well, I'm pretty funny. I don't think most people know that. Sketch comedy humor or dry humor, but I'm pretty funny. Sometimes corny too. Also, I am a published academic writer in the field of psychology.
Yes.
And we'll stick with writing. I write poetry and short stories as well.
Okay.
So those are some unique things about me.
Those are
you, Ash.
So mine are, I'm first generation Nigerian, which a lot of people don't know unless you wonder what my last name is. I have been to Disney World 10 times.
Oh, wow.
Which is something that I pride myself on. But I have not been in a very long time. But we could change that since you live in Florida now.
Yes. I'm like, we can go because I've never been. So that would be super,
I guess we have to go.
That would be super fun and exciting.
Yes. And then another thing is I'm trilingual. So I speak English, French, and Igbo. So,
see, I didn't know you was coming with them type of things. Yeah. I'm like, I do that. Yeah.
So yeah, those are the 3 fun things about us. So, Raye, here, this series is about friendship and sisterhood. So part of that, I think, especially with you and I, we do not gatekeep anything when it comes to each other, especially things that we're loving. Like when we're loving, we're texting, we're sending links. We're like, girl, you need to try this. Hold on. Let me tell you about this. So what are some things right now, just 1 or 2 things that you're loving just in this week?
Well, this week I'm really liking the Eucerin products for, I suffer with eczema and some spots. Both the cream and the shower wash has been excellent for me, like cleared up my flare in like 2 or 3 days. And it's funny because when I went to Walmart to grab it, the shelves were empty. It was like 1 bottle left. So we know it works. I would say this week too, I'm also loving the Ordinary lactic acid. I feel like also in the summer, I tan really easily, like specifically on my lips, and they're already, a darker complexion. So I feel like with the lactic acid, it keeps them nice and plump and pretty color. And so I've been really enjoying that product too this week.
Okay, those are some good ones. We love a good beauty recommendation for sure.
Of course,
So I'm going to share 2 of mine. One of them is a beauty item. It's Peace Out Acne. Girl, I don't know what has happened in the last week and a half. My skin is struggling. Like you said, it may be the sun. It may be I don't know what it is. It may be I'm tired because I'm tired. Mm-hmm. And when it's just like these little dot patches that are transparent. So once you put them on, you see them, but not really unless you come like very close to the person. And I put them on at night. And by the morning, my massive pimple is much smaller. So I've been using those. Once I was telling one of my girlfriends, once you use just 2, you're good. Like the pimple will be gone. Another thing, it's not a beauty item, but I know you and I are both very big fans of Thames.
Yes, we love our girl Thames.
Yes, we love Thames. And girl, her new album has had me in a chokehold. Okay.
I'm late to the party.
Girl, you're late to the party. You're late to the party. Oh, that album. It is just like it's a good summer album. It's a good album. Like I envision myself once I start having, dinner soirees, just putting it on and just like vibing out with my friends like we always do. Like that is the vibe it's giving. Thames, our girl, she knew what she was doing on the album.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to get into it soon.
Yes.
Because usually I'm not late to the music game, but it's been a week.
So yeah. So those are just some of the things that we love. We're gonna kind of do that every episode. Just share a few things that we're currently loving. None of these are sponsored. So they are
we're not sponsored.
Yeah. So they're true, genuine things that we love. So just wanted to kick off our sisterhood and friendship series with some things to share with our sisters and our friends. So episode 1, Raye.
So we're here. Positive vibes only.
Positive vibes only. So let's get into it. Why don't you start?
So, I think we should just start about us, like how our friendship started. So I'm gonna go into this story because I tell the best side of this story.
Well, there you go.
So, I was a RA at our undergraduate college. Yeah, I'm a year older than Ashley, so I was, in the game in that office for a little while, and we conduct interviews, and we had like a large candidate pool, but Ashley came through and she stuck out to me. Like, I was just like, I love her. She's smart. She's witty. She knows what she's doing already. Like, I just thought she was the full package. Somewhere along the line, Ashley said that she got word that none of us liked her, myself included. And I feel like to this day, you still hold on to that. But that is so false. Like, I was like the main one pushing for, you to become a part of that team.
Yes. And I appreciate you for that. And I agree. I did think, my side of the story is that I went into that room. I felt defeated, which is very rare for me to feel defeated in something that I considered myself a semi-expertise in because I had been doing it already. And I left that interview, and it was a group interview. So, sometimes you really have to fight your way to be a star in a group interview, right? You have to really show up. It's not just one-on-one. So I had just felt like, oh gosh, I don't know. I just felt so defeated. I didn't feel, Lord forgive me, that the other candidates were better, but I had just felt defeated. Like, I don't think I showed up as my best. I don't think these people like me. I don't think I did well, whatever it may be. And that was just me holding on to past traumas, specifically with women while I was in college, and displaying that in a work environment because I was like, oh, here are these older young ladies at the time. Of course, I aspired to work with and be like, and I was just like, I feel like there are judgy eyes on me, which was not the truth.
It was not.
It was not, but it just felt like on my end, this was all self bringing on, was just, I just didn't feel right for me. Like it just felt weird. But that was, again, the trauma that I had endured from the past creeping into my future, which happens in friendship, which we'll get into later. But here we are.
Yeah. How many?
14 years.
A long while. I'm just like, what year was that? Maybe 2010. Yeah. So 14 years.
Yeah. 14 years. 14. Yeah. Wow. 14 years later. Yeah. So it was a long time coming. And it's just so beautiful to have specifically a friendship with you, really a sisterhood. I do not consider you my friend. You're my friend, but you're my sister first.
And there's a difference. We'll get into it.
There is. For us, at least, there's definitely a difference.
Yeah, we definitely started as friends and grew to sisterhood where we don't call each other friends. We're like sisters.
That's my sister. Yeah. So, and I feel like as our relationship has grown, we definitely have faced challenges to maintain our friendship. Yeah. I think with any relationship, especially a sisterhood, a friendship, you have to continue to work on maintenance of it.
Right.
Without the maintenance, it's going to crumble just like a house, right? Just like your car. So for us, no matter the distance, right? Even though side tier, You're the furthest you've ever been from me physically.
Yeah, I'm a little far now.
No, but I feel like if I don't talk to you every day, it's weird for me. Even if I don't text you like, Ray, like just how
we
are you?
talk every day. So, like you said, you have to maintain it. Things like distance shouldn't matter if that's really your friend, that's really your sister. Like we make the effort. So I want to talk a little bit about the efforts that we make within our friendship. So I would just say this. Ashley is like the best friend you could ever have, because it's almost like having a second boyfriend or a partner, because she's going to spoil you. She's going to check in. She's going to make sure you have what you need and more. Like I have all these beautiful plants ever since I moved into my first apartment out of college. It's a bamboo plant. Yes. Now I have like 3 more, and they're all from Ashley, and they all live. So, she's good at picking out plants too. But, I just really love how we've grown from, like you said, being really, really young women into now sophisticated, more poised, and having been through a lot together and grew together.
Yeah, I agree. And thank you, Ray. I'm going to add plant picker to my resume.
Yeah. I mean, no, she does a lot more, but that just always spoke to me. I love when I receive from you. Like I've got them in all different types of circumstances. Like my very first one was my first apartment on my own. Yeah. My most recent one, I was very ill, and the plant is still alive. So glimmer of hope. But you just have to work on your friendships.
I agree. I spoke about distance with us. You've been the one to more so move than I have. Mm-hmm, and I feel like you, the person who's moving away, you have always wanted to maintain a relationship with your friends. You show up, you talk about me, but Sheree is someone that you put your friends before yourself 98% of the time. You truly. So you show up, you're there, you call Sheree, hey, okay, that's it. It's okay. All right. I'll be there. See ya. On my way. Like it's never I don't know. No. So you really have perfected how to maintain a friendship because you care. Right. And you just like I do see your friends as your family as well. So you are loyal, fiercely loyal. You show up, you are caring, you just bring a light, like I call you my Ray. It's literally a ray of sunshine. Like with you, I don't feel gloom. Even in the gloomiest of situations, it's never like, you bring something out of me, and I think not just for me, I think for other people too. So that, maintenance of friendship is very important. I feel like a lot of my very good girlfriends recently in the last few years have moved away.
Yeah. Yeah. We're far.
Yes.
One is way in England.
Yes. One is way in England. My girlfriend Gabby lives in Rhode Island. Jordan lives in Upper Marlboro, which is still the same state, but it's far. It's an hour and some minutes, and it's not like 5 minutes away. And now so it definitely takes time to maintain relationship. You have to call, you have to check in, you have to, not just when things are good, not just when things are bad.
I'm glad you went into that part, because that's where I was about to touch. Yeah. I think, and it's just when you get older. So, not knocking people who have like friends for just fun, but these type of the sisterhood that we're talking about, it's not all about fun. Like, yes, we have a lot of fun together. We go out, we get dressed, we brunch, we do whatever we want, we travel. But you want that person who's going to be there for you when things are really, really tough, or you're going through a storm. Or even like, I love, one thing that we have friend telepathy. I know when something's going on with my Ash. I'd be like, are you okay? And another thing about having that telepathy, we know when to carry each other. Like, your friend, your sister, she's struggling with something. I feel like it's, our job, my job, to make sure I can help pick up if I can, if I'm able. And I think that's one of the biggest highlights of our friendship. Like, we just read each other really well. We're there. And we realize it's not all about fun. Like, we've had some really challenging experiences, from like family members passing away to family members and friends to, getting played with challenging relationships, just everything, situations that, broke our spirit in some type of way. And I could speak for myself. I was glad to, have you by my side. I feel like every time I'm going through something that's a little bigger, it passes quicker with you.
Oh, thank you. That means so much, and vice versa for me as well. And I think that is something that sometimes people forget. Like, friendship is definitely meant to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's right. Like, it's supposed to be a light in your life. But I do think sometimes people don't know how to be friends to each other when it's not always so light and airy and fun and this and that. And, like you said, as you get older, I think you start to realize that it's like, dang, this one person only comes around when it's turn up time. But let's say it's not
hurting my feelings bad. I talk to you about that all the time. It hurts my feelings. Like, hey, they only like the fun. They only like the fun, Ray.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
What's the point? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like if we have like concrete, I don't know, maybe proof of friendship, relationship, like, you're going to get the fun, right? That comes with it. But
naturally,
if you can't be there when I need you, then why have all the good qualities that I bring?
Yeah, I agree. And I just think that sometimes, before I would wonder, is it me? Like, I'm the problem? And listen, sometimes I am the problem. Okay. No one is perfect. Sometimes I am the problem. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Sometimes I am. But I do think a lot of it is, I was just telling my cousin the other day, I said, I'm really, really trying to learn how to, two things: give people grace, mm-hmm. and meet them where they are. And that comes sometimes when the person who only is around you when you're fun, if you're considering them your real friend, sometimes can't be there for you when you're going through something. Because sometimes I feel like we as people, we hold a lot of things in, mm-hmm. and sometimes we don't even know how to be there, or we're so self-absorbed and we don't even realize you're going through something, right? Or sometimes we as friends are too ashamed to like admit we're going through something.
Yeah.
Sometimes, so recently I've really been trying to give grace to my friends and my sisters. But I have a 3-strike rule. So yeah. Yeah. I have
let's hear about it.
Yeah. I have a 3-strike rule. My rule is I give you grace 3 times. And on the 4th, ain't no more grace from me. And what that looks like, if you're my real friend, is a conversation. Then I'm speaking up, right?
Yeah.
And after that conversation, if you didn't take heed and you didn't not even acknowledge, but sit in yourself for a little bit, and then the behavior still continues, then I am going to decide how I handle our friendship moving forward. Because I know in our friendship series here, we talk about, in episode 2, seasons, reasons, and lifetime friendships. So mm-hmm. once I give you that 3 grace periods, and on 4, I address it, and then you still carry on, cool. I'm going to categorize you differently. That
you know what's funny? I'm the opposite.
Yeah, you are.
My friends, they get chance after chance after chance after chance. But as I've gotten older and just a little bit less tolerable and, life, like you don't get that many chances. Sometimes I'm a little bit lacking in grace. Like, oh, you did, that's it. That's it. Just because, I don't know. For me, it's like, I know what I bring to the table. I know what type of friend I am. And I know that I'm capable to have conversations if there's a disagreement. So if you're not communicating, there's an issue with me, I don't really know. And so I just see your behavior. Like, okay, this person's moving different. They're, treating me different. And I'm still being my 100% self. Because if I'm going to be a friend, I'm going to be my 100% self. So once, if I feel like that's what's going on, I just like scurry away. Really just scurry away. And maybe that's not good, but I feel like if we've gotten that point, you've probably had 4 or 5 chances. Some folks more than that. So, but like you said, in the next cast, we get into the season's reasons. And I think a lot of that 4 and 5 times is just because I've allowed someone to stay past their season in my life and didn't know how to let go myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a great point, right? Like it is, friendship is a choice, right? Like they say, oh, you don't pick your family, but you can pick your friends who can become your family, right? And for me, I agree. I think we've switched places. I feel like years ago, you were where I am now, like 1, 2, 3, done. Like, and I'd be like, oh, Sheree, I think you should really talk to the person. I really think you should. But now I agree with you. Knowing what you bring to the table as a person, as a friend is so important, right? It's really, really important. So self-reflecting on that, I think that's why I think I'm, like you said, it's basically like having another boyfriend, a partner. So why would you want to fumble the bag? I am the
No, for real. Don't fumble the friend bag.
Why are you trying to fumble the friend bag? So for me, it's like, hold on now, sis. Don't be acting silly. Because if you act silly,
I can get going quick.
Because I can get going quick.
Where I'm loved and appreciated.
Period.
So it's funny that you say that because, I'm going to be for real. Like sometimes I be feeling like, am I selfish with how I've been acting with my friends as of late? Like, it's not saying I'm looking for somebody exactly like me, but I want similar qualities. And, being in my field, I think about things like values and matching things. So, most people think about having matching values in their romantic relationship, but I believe in having them in my intimate relationships, which are with friends. We'll get into that psychology lesson another time, but romantic and intimate are different things. With your good friends or sisters, there should be a level of intimacy in your conversations and, your compassion for one another. So knowing that I'm like that, I desire that as well from my friends. Like it's not, it never makes sense to me that, you know everything about me and I barely know anything about you. Or if I'll call you crying, because I'll call crying quick, Ashley. I don't get the same because I know you be crying too. So why is it just me?
And then that raises the question, like one-sided friendship, right? Like if you, because sometimes we have to be oh Lord, child, don't let me get into this. Sometimes we have to be very careful because there are friends who don't. Do I want to say this? There are some people who we think are friends, or who, I guess, if you, by the textbook definition of friendship, I guess you could look that up, Webster's dictionary, and they technically are a friend, but are their actions showing you friendship, right? Because there's some friends who like seeing you sad. They listen. I think they do. I think there's a lot of friends who don't. Listen, not in our circle. I'm not saying in our circle there's these people.
But we've experienced it. That's what she's getting at.
Yes. I think there are some people who like when you call them, oh, Sheree always got that drama. Here we go. Sheree always has that drama. Oh, Ashley's, always crying. Oh, she's sensitive. Oh, and then when you're happy, they're nowhere to be found. You'd be like, oh, let's hang out. Let's do. I can't. But when I'm crying, you want to, and they're not consoling you. There's a difference. Okay?
Listening and gathering information.
Period. That part. All they're doing is listening and gathering information. They're not consoling you. They really, really don't care. And it is just, listen, again, not saying they're a bad person, right? Giving you grace. But again, I'm then going to put you in a different category because you and I we're both Cancers. Cancer. First of all,
Cancers.
Season is currently going on. Shout out to all of our Cancers right now.
Yes.
My birthday is June 24th. Sheree just celebrated her beautiful birthday July 2nd. So we are deep into Cancer season with the season. Okay. So you and I are both Cancers. Cancer are very intuitive. Very intuitive. And what part of that intuition is emotional? That's when people say, oh, Cancer is emotional people. You're right. We are in tune with people's emotions. We
feel that.
Yes. We know what is safe and what is not. So when it comes to our friendships, we're able to easily see that. And we have both had, I think, friends who are there, like you said, not when it's fun, but they're not genuinely there for us either. So this brings me to the question of what are 3 things in friendship you want? Like if you were creating because you said you now in your older age, you're looking for friends that have value. So what are some things that you look for? Like when you're making a new friend, you just moved, so there's going to definitely be potential for you to make new friends. So what are you looking for? Sheree is taking applications.
I am. So, and I have great friends, but I'm very open to new ones. Just because, I feel like I used to be very uptight, but now I'm just like,
you did. But that was from, well, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
That was life.
When life be life in. But honestly, like I am definitely looking for, I'll say diversity. And what I mean by diversity for me is diverse mindsets. Like I don't want a friend who knows the exact same things I do. Like I want to be in a teachable friendship. I will say, I have a full range of friends, but for a long time, a lot of my friends were older just because I just thrive for, learning life lessons through somebody else. Like if I don't have to learn the lesson, my good friend and experience, they can tell me about that. Or, they have knowledge about different fields, different things. That's important to me. I would say that's my number one. Somebody who's diverse, meaning different from me. Compassion is always going to be there. No, let me just stick with my favorite word, loyalty. I need someone who's loyal. I am like fiercely loyal. So if I feel like that person isn't going to be loyal, isn't going to be truthful, then this probably not going to work. I just think it's very important to have your friend, your sister's back, and to be supportive. That means, showing up to your friends are launching a business, showing up, being there. Just loyal. That's my favorite word, y'all. Y'all are here a lot, loyal. And then let me see. I do like someone who is like not carefree, but fun and
not uptight, not rigid.
Not rigid, because I can be rigid. So I like a little bit of an opposite with newer friends. Like too rigid people, it's not. I don't feel like that goes all the time.
Yeah.
Like I don't need super, super harsh friends either. Like you can keep it a buck, but there's ways of delicately speaking. Something that I personally have practiced on. So I speak much more delicate now. I think that's important with communicating with anybody that you say you love, you care for, just choosing your words wisely and shaping them to their level of understanding. I don't think harshness gets friendships, relationships, family ships anywhere. So those are the 3 things that I'm looking for.
I think that I love those words you used. Diverse, not rigid. Yeah, that's such a good way to put it. I agree. I would say that my 3 would be, I'm so loving. I want a friend who's like equally, like, I know we're talking about diverse. Equally, like, I love bomb people. I know that has like a negative connotation, but when I do it, it's positive. I love bomb you. Like, I want to know your location. I want to know what you're doing this weekend. I want to know when you've gotten to the airport and through security and on your flight and taken off, and I will track your flight, and I will know that
you track your location too.
And I will know you landed before you even do. Like that, like I want that. And I have that. Like, I love that about my friends, because I think my extreme loving nature has really rubbed off on my friends.
Yeah.
And so
I'm super mushy now.
Yeah, you are.
Like, I'm giving hugs. I'm like, oh, this is definitely Ashley. Be hype. Ashley's very huggy, y'all. Like,
yes, I love, because I just feel like there's no other. Well, there is another way to be more intimate, but you know what I mean. In a friendship, that is the closest your physical body,
Yes.
soul and heart are to someone when you hug them. And I feel like a hug can just go such a long way. You just want a good hug. You just want a good embrace from your sister, you know? So I love a loving friend. I love someone who, you know, grace, the word grace. Just as you expect me to give you grace, I expect you to give me grace too. Like I said, I'm not perfect, even though my mother would say otherwise, but I am not perfect. Sometimes I get wrapped up in things, especially my job, my career. I can get very wrapped up in it. Sometimes because I'm always talking to people on a daily in my career, my phone texting for me is like, it may take me a little bit of time, right? I'm pretty responsive, but sometimes I forget to text people back, especially now I'm getting older. I'm just like, oh, this is a lot. This texting, just call me, just voice memo me. I'm good for a voice note. So just loving someone who gives you grace and someone who's better than me. Someone who's better than me in honestly, it could be all around life. It could be something, one or two, just someone who's better than me. Each of my sister friends have something that I admire so much about them. So much about them. For example, for you, you are one of the most organized people in life. Like literally, for example, doing this podcast, having the show notes that you put together, my mind could not do that. When I go to Sheree's house, y'all should see her beautiful bathroom drawers. She needs to Pinterest that shit because honestly, it's giving Martha Stewart times 10.
Yeah, you know, organized.
Yes. And so like just having that, and it kind of puts me like, I left her house like, hold up now, let me go do my let me get my bins and things all together. And put my because it makes it look aesthetically more pleasing. It's more like relaxing. Like, and she's right. The bathroom is a relaxing place. Like, so just things like that. Like just having friends who are better than me in something, like you said, friends you could learn from. For me, it's like, I'm okay if my friend's better with finances than me. You know why? Because I want to get there too. I want my friend to tell me how to use the Amex points to buy the this and fly free and get the Delta Sky Miles and because I don't know. Sis, I don't know everything. I don't know everything. So it's like just things like that. I love a friend who could cook because y'all know I don't really be cooking like that. So my friends,
I can cook.
Right? I didn't say I can't cook. I just don't cook. So, you know, interpret as you will. But, you know, a friend who can cook, when I go to their house, they just cook for me. The food's already on the table. It's like, oh, thank you. Y'all gonna feed me, you know? So it's just like stuff like that.
But I will say this, you will do the same setup, but you just use a caterer.
Period.
When we come to the house, there's all the catered food laid out, the drinks, everything. So you do it too. You just do it your way, and that's okay.
Yes. So yeah, just those are just a few of the things that like I love in friendship, or I'm now, like you said, as you get older, you really look for in friendship. One of the terms we love using is boss chick, boss up, boss woman. All my friends are bosses in their own rights. You know, even just I've had a birthday party, which I do really every other year. And this year it just felt even more special. This was my first birthday party since like
it's been a while. Like one of this size. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. And this is one of the times where I brought, and this is leading
all the bosses.
Yes, all the bosses.
There.
And it was like, you know, it was just mingling my friend groups, you know, and some of my friends had never met each other, even though some of them have, a lot of them haven't. So this brings us to our next topic, is kind of putting your friend, you know, meshing your friends groups together. How do you, because I think part of loving and part of sharing is sharing my friends. Like we said, we don't gatekeep. And if my friends, like we said, are bosses, boss chicks, boss women in their own respect, I want all my friends. Because listen, I consider myself the ultimate connector. I'm a connect. Oh, you need this? I got you, because so-and-so knows how to do that. So how do you go about, you know, merging your friend group, your sister friends together? How has that been for you?
It's been good. I'm gonna give a shout out to the ladies that were at your party, though. Your other friends outside of me, they were beautiful. They were bossy. I loved every single one of them. It was a really, really nice party. Like I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I didn't have to be attached to you at the hip because the women were just so inviting.
Yes.
So I had a great time at your birthday party.
Thank you.
But I feel like I've always been good at this. So I will say, since undergrad, I always wanted my friends to know each other. So I always went on trips with all my friends, whether they're from college, whether they were from high school at the time. Just, for many years, for like my birthday, I would just do a dinner with my girls. And at one point in time, it was like 12 plus women.
It's 15 women.
There. So, I feel like I blend my circle, my friendship circles well. I always have. But in recent years, I don't know, maybe because like my tribe trickled down a bit. So there's been less, these grand gatherings. But I don't know, there's always some awkwardness with blending your friendship circles. I can say that. I don't know if I want to be shady.
Shady, or is it truthful?
Truthful.
Okay.
But your friends can see things. It's okay. I think it's important. Some of your friends can see things about your other friends that you may have a naked eye to, and it's important. Mm-hmm. I will say friends, people that I, no longer share friendship circles with, that I consider close at one time. One of my other friends already saw it like way, way, way in advance. And I just like, oh no, I don't see that. Da, 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 da. So I think it's important to have your friends meet each other, not on some like find out what the flaw is of that person. But if they see something, they see it. And, if this is your trustworthy friend, your loyal friend, they're just telling you to protect you. So
I agree with that. I feel like I was the opposite. You have been always good with that. I have not joined my friend groups, like really like started to like, oh, we have a group chat. Oh, yes. Birthday. Like, I really hadn't done that because I was so just like, I'm going with my friends. I don't need to put you were you and you were you and you were you. But
Ashley's trying to admit that she had me very siloed from her other friends for a while, but it's not like that anymore.
I did. And it wasn't intentional, honestly. And then now I look back, I'm like, dang, why was I doing that? Because my friends, especially my girlfriends, all get along, like you said, beautifully. Like literally after my birthday, all the text I got was, oh my gosh, had a great time. Everyone was, one of my friends had texted me and said, it was so beautiful to see just how much love was in that room and how beautiful, like just seeing people get together and just, even though you don't know each other, being open enough to introduce yourself and just feel comfortable and have a good time and not feel awkward. And I got another text that said, listen, if you ever have these girls around again, these ladies, please invite me. Like it was just so refreshing as we got, we're getting older to just be able to meet women who are open.
Well, you know what? Like, what's most important about that, I think, is the common friend. So let's just say you or I. I do think blending circles, it is the main friend's responsibility to create that type of environment. If you're not creating a loving environment, you're not creating a get to know everyone environment, then it will have that, like, it will have a negative effect. I've experienced a negative experience with that. Like, okay, like if I'm your day one, like I should know your friend. I should know something about her. Personally, I want to know because I love you as my friend. Yes. I want to know who else is important to you. And I feel like, being that, I've done that with my friends. Like this is Ashley. This is my other friends. I explain the story, I try to draw a commonality between the two so you can connect. And, that might be like talking people skills, but I just feel like that's something that, women should do more, making sure all their friends know each other.
I love that. And I agree. I think that it is the person who's the common friend to create a comfortable environment. And I think that we have successfully done that. And it is nice. It's really, really nice to just have women around who are just beautiful. Really, that's all I can. That's the only word I know how to use is just
and sweet and just kind and
smart
and beautiful too, y'all. They beautiful.
Yes,
physically and inside. Yeah.
Yes, internally, just beautiful human beings. And it is, it has been not as bad as I thought it could have been. I don't even know what I was thinking before. But now
there could have been some reserve or some former friendship. But I will say this: your main early friends, y'all have been friends for so long. You're talking childhood friends, so that is a little bit of adjustment. Yes. Bringing in your college friends or bringing in your work friends who've grown to be very close friends. Yes. That happens a lot more than people think. That your work friend becomes one of your close friends. But
I agree. And I think that will lead us, as we go through this series and just kind of continue to discover friendship, sisterhood, and what it means. It is definitely just something that's a journey continuously, especially as we grow older. And, this is episode 1, so we're not going to give too much, but it is, and I know we've shared this, it is such a beautiful thing to be on this journey with you as my sister, as my friend. And I know that this series, we hope that it touches other women like ourselves and who are not like us to just, continue to explore sisterhood, friendship, relationships with other women and to continue to grow. But I'm excited for what's to come with our podcast, with our friendships. So.
Well, thank you for that, Ash. I'm super excited too. Like, I'm equally excited that I'm going on this journey with you. Someone who understands me, someone who loves me, someone who, we do a lot of things together, and it's just something else to add to our repertoire. So I'm super excited.
Well, episode 2 is gonna be out. Like we said, we're gonna be talking about seasons, reasons, and lifetime. And that's going to be a good episode. I think we have a lot.
We can be cute today, but it'll get spicy. Episode 2.
Episode 2, I think, is really where we will thrive.
Yes,
in just being real, because that's what her side of the story is about. It's just being honestly very, very real.
Thank you, audience, for joining us. And don't forget to tune into the next episode as we dive a little deeper into the complexities of friendship. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our podcast for updates and exclusive content. Until next time, continue to shine and tell your side of the story. Peace.
Bye.
If you enjoyed listening to the podcast, follow us on social media at Her Side of the Story RA. And don't forget to rate the podcast and subscribe. Thank you. See you next time.